of the country?
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. Good start. So the best thing about it is that why travel? Traveling from experience, from going through Southeast Asia for three and a half months, 3 years ago, you get to meet a lot of great people. It's amazing. You get to see things that you would never see in the States, especially New Zealand. That's one big thing. You get to discover a lot. You get to share a lot of experiences that I could never do here in my life. And yeah, so the next one. So before we get to that, let's do some fun facts. See the sheep? There's a ton of sheep there. So New Zealand is home to 4 million people and 50 million sheep. It is nuts. So the fun fact is there are 9 sheep per each person in New Zealand, making it the highest ratio in the world. So if you're a big fan of animals, you would love that place. I don't get how they have that many. And out of all the population in the country, only 5% of it are human. The rest are animals, making it the highest animals to humans ratio in the world. And then another fun fact is no matter where you are in New Zealand, if you're a big fan of the ocean, which is always a beautiful thing, you will only be about 79 miles away from anywhere you are in New Zealand, which is great. Probably like an hour or two. Also a fun fact, can I go to the next one? So this is a crazy name for a city. I can't pronounce it, sorry.
Come on, try it.
I'm like telling you now. That's all I get. So, fun fact about that is that it's an 85 character long Maori, which is a culture there that we'll get into later. And it is one of the longest names found in any English speaking language, or country, sorry. And it actually has a meaning. It means the place where, the man with the big knees who slid, climbed, and swallowed mountains, known as the land eater, played his nose flute to his loved ones. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody thought of that. That's what it is. So yeah, all right. So that's just some fun facts about that place. So why New Zealand, especially? New Zealand, the best part about it is the scenery. The scenery is amazing. That's one thing that I love about traveling is that some things that you won't see here, you'll get to see in New Zealand. Especially like just beautiful green areas, all the mountains, anything. And the best part about it is also, let's see, the people. I don't really know if they're actually all New Zealanders, but bear with me. New Zealanders, one thing that I love about going to travel is that I met a lot of great people just by traveling. And apparently, going to New Zealand, they're always warm and friendly to people, which is great. You don't want people that are hostile. Why go there? But yeah, so the scenery, people, and Austin, going.
And then also the climate is great. Like Australia just mentioned, we're pretty much the same area. They have 4 distinct seasons, but it's not extreme. Like they don't have winters like us or anything like that by any means. You got like average temperatures of in the summer, spring. So I mean, yeah, winter it doesn't get too cool. Oh no, winter right there. But yeah, like 45 degrees, which is still, if you're us, still nice temperature. And then you can go to the next one. Also safety, crime is very low among New Zealand. As we were saying, they're very nice to tourists out there. Yeah, almost no criminal encounters that we were really seeing data on. And then last but not least is the culture. Oh yeah.
We'll see why.
Get into that a little bit more later. And then, so a little bit about the culture. These are Maori, I think, is how that's pronounced. But these are the natural inhabitants of New Zealand. There's still about 600,000 of those around, so makes up about 15% of the population. So they still are very firm to their roots. It's a definitely diverse culture, not what you'd get usually out here. A little bit about our excursions. We got a little map that showed the way we took through. You're going to be landing in Russell and then traveling all the way through. We tried to stop by and pretty much get all the best highlights that you can get out of New Zealand. There's a ton of stuff to see, but we picked out the best that we could find, basically.
Alright, so with Russell, the first place that we get to when we land, the best part about it is there's a lot of history with it, and if you're not really a big thrill seeker, it's a great place to just relax, especially when you go through a long flight. The flight is probably about 20 to 30 hours, and I've experienced that, and it's not really fun. So, you know, just relaxing like this and getting this view is amazing. I love it, and there's plenty of shops here. There's definitely, let me see, a bay here. It's actually, I think it's one of the first bays that came out that a lot of ships were in back in the day. I think it was in like the 1843, it says. And there's plenty of historic buildings to look around and just pretty much just get a gaze of what New Zealand's history was, especially their culture. So, alright. And then Auckland is one of the best places to go to. It has jet boat tours. If you are a thrill seeker, that's amazing. And coming from that, if you want to just relax and just have a good time and have a view, Sky Towers is awesome. It's very popular. It's, I think, the tallest building in the southern hemisphere. I think it's around, how tall is it? 359 yards, so about like more than 3 football fields, which is pretty high. And then the things that you can do there, which is awesome, there's a casino, which is great. There is also a sky jump, which if you're a thrill seeker, I would never do that. I think I would just run into that thing. But there's a skywalk as well, which I still wouldn't do. You just go around the top of the tower right there, and I think you just get a tour guide and you just enjoy the view while you're outside, which is crazy. And then also, a beautiful restaurant. The restaurant is the best part because you get to see the beautiful view of the city itself, and that's one thing I love about it. So,
All right, and then traveling down through the northern island. There we go. So Matamata is going to be our next trip, which talked about a little bit before. But so this is where basically the Hobbit and most of the Lord of the Rings was filmed. Basically, Matamata is a kind of small town. It's mostly just like a farm town, like 8,000 people there, something around that. So this is definitely one of the more relaxed places we went to. Not quite so much thrill seeking as last time. If you want to go to the next one. Is that gonna work? Okay, apparently the video is not gonna work on your computer. I don't know why. Sorry about that. It was just gonna be a little tour around the actual Hobbiton farm, which is a really cool place. Definitely worth checking out. And then Nelson is going to be the first place that we go to on the southern islands. And there's a ton of outdoor stuff to do there. That's the main focus. This right here is the picture from the top of the hike they call the center in New Zealand. Reason they call it that is it's literally in the center of everything in New Zealand, and you can see water all around you basically because you're on like the corner. And just a bunch of awesome views. The clear water, honestly, got me more than anything. That place is beautiful. And what else can you do out there? Second oldest town that's in New Zealand. It's the oldest that is on the southern islands. About 47,000 people live out there. And arts and crafts is mostly what they're known for. There's a bunch of festivals they do involving that. There's actually a little place you can go to like make your own sword and stuff. So they do a lot of cool stuff over there for sure. That's about that.
And this is Queenstown. You can do a lot of stuff there. You can like segway around the town, check out the scenery on segways, which I thought would be pretty cool, and just go around. And then you can do an air tour around Queenstown, check out some of the scenery as well, and just have fun in the sky like that. And here's what it looks like right now. A lot of stuff looks like they're in fall right now, but in that picture, but it looks so cool. I want to go there soon. And there's that. And Puna Kai Kai is the next place, and this Pancake Rocks is that national park. You can kind of tell it's like a pancake because of the water right there, the hole. And yeah, that will be pretty cool. Checking out some of the national parks and go exploring through the scenery. And there's rafting tours. You can raft in caves and go white water rafting, and just go have a ball for a day. And yeah.
A little bit about the expenses. So our total cost was actually pretty cheap for considering we had like almost 2-week vacation up there. So with the breakdown, you're roughly budgeting out like about $250 a day. That includes food, travel, everything, hotels. Hotels are actually really cheap out there, like $150 for like 4 or 5-star hotels, which is really not that bad. And so yeah, the New Zealand dollar is a little bit less than the American dollar, so that definitely helps as far as budgeting. It's important to know for traveling for sure. And yeah, refer a friend, all that fun stuff. And then
The items you need are like identifications, like your passport and your ID, so they know who you are. And optional stuff, camera, phone, and your clothes, so you can stay comfortable and all that. You would definitely need to bring a camera so you can take pictures of all the awesome stuff you see around New Zealand.
And I mean, basic recap, main reasons you're going to want to go there. Literally the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. Pretty much everywhere you go, it's fantastic views. You're definitely going to want to see it. And their wildlife is a little bit more tame, so you can kind of travel freely, not have to worry about everything killing you out there. Yeah, I mean, pretty much that's everything we got for